Alright, good Monday to everybody. It's probably not a good Monday for a lot of Saints fans. I mean, at 4 straight years of getting thrown out of the playoffs before the Super Bowl, well, you know, it seems to continue as is. But I guess the bad part of it is 3 of the 4 years and 3 of the last 5 playoff games the Saints played in have ended in the Superdome. So, was it 3? No, it's 3 of the last 6. I'll get it right. Anyway, well, before I get into that, and I'm not going to take a whole long time with it, and I got a theory that I'm going to run by people. Am I going to be called crazy or whatever? But, you know, it may be something that time may tell that it's time to do. This is obviously from my friend and Bayou State Sports Saturday co-host George Peppers, but I'll get into that a little bit. But there's something I got to get into, and it has something to do with President Trump. Okay. See, this is where I can prove once again I'm totally in support of the guy. I actually was a Ted Cruz supporter during the primary. So there you go. I just could not fathom voting for Hillary Clinton. I just could not. That's it. And there's no fault me for that. But anyway, he asked the military if he could have a military-style send-off. First thing I'm thinking in my mind, when is the only time presidents have military send-offs? When they die in office. The last one he did it for, John F. Kennedy, JFK. I mean, unless President Trump plans on dying in the next 24 hours, I don't know. I mean, come on. Military-style send-off. You would have to be dead, you big dummy. So, I got a new nominee for our You Big Dummy Award. And that's going to be President Trump. I'm sorry. What in the hell is he thinking? A military-style send-off. A one-term president. He's still alive. Come on, man. Really? So, we got another nominee for You Big Dummy Award. Thank you. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I could not pass that up. I could not pass that up. You can't act from independent like myself to pass that up. That just wasn't going to happen. Sorry. I had to do that. But I had to get a little chuckle too with something like that. But, oh my God. Now I got to talk about the Saints. Before I do that, hey, Pelicans broke their 5-game losing streak by knocking off Sacramento last night. So congratulations to the Pelicans getting back on a winning way. At least, you know, for this week they got to go play the Utah Jazz coming up next. So we'll see how that goes. But one thing I definitely wanted to, you know, I just wanted to throw that out there too. But all right. The Saints. Okay. I said on Bayou State Sports Saturday that we had to play a crappy game in order to lose. Well, the people that are bashing Drew Brees for that game, stop it. Just stop it. That was a total team effort. Sure, it wasn't one of Drew's best days. It wasn't the receivers' best days either. They ran all kind of crazy routes. Things that wasn't supposed to be run. So it wasn't just quarterback. It was receivers. The offensive line didn't really give a lot of protection. The defense showed up at the beginning, and then they decided, I guess after the turnover started, well, I guess we'd take a break too. I don't know. But it was a total team effort. It was a crappy performance by pretty much everybody. So, you know, maybe Kamara. But I'm going to tell you right now, Cook, they are not re-signing him. No. You can go test the free agent waters. But yeah, they're not re-signing Jared Cook. No. You count how many times he fumbled this year. Well, I can do it. Seems like I've been using that figure a lot. 6 times he's fumbled balls this year. I mean, you don't catch a football and then start carrying it out here like, hey, look at this. I got a loaf of French bread. You want it? Oh, my God. Please. No, so I predict that. You know, other people that need to be re-signed, all right, Jared Cook would be in on that list. But Marshawn Lattimore, Marcus Williams, and Ryan Ramczyk, those guys are going to get re-signed. I think Marcus Williams played his way back on this roster for at least for a new contract. I think he will. And now, it comes down to money and they need it. But remember, if Drew retires, and I'm still saying if, because it's not a done deal yet, he's probably leaning that way, but it's not a done deal. But if he does, they'll probably have some cap room. So they probably could pay all 3 of those guys. But not Jared Cook. If you keep 3 of them, you can't. You got to do this. I mean, you just got to do it. But another season has ended. And if or not Drew Brees retires, that's another issue. But George Peppers, and I remember he said this a few weeks ago on Bayou State Sports Saturday. Basically what he said was, if the season doesn't end the way we want, that maybe Gayle Benson makes a move. And this is the move that George said. And I'm not totally against it. I'm not totally for it. I'm not totally against it. I mean, I still weigh in it. But I'm going to throw it out there since it's the end of the season. He said, and this is George's quote, said Gayle Benson should go to Tom Benson. Tom Benson. Yeah, Gayle Benson go to, well, all right, go have a seance with Tom first. But no, never mind. Shut up. All right. She'd go to Sean Payton and say, Sean, you've been coach for a number of years now. Maybe your voice is not being heard as much as it was in the past. Because you can't just hold the players responsible for 4 straight years of playoff failure. You can't. Coaching's got to take a part in this. So, but we're not suggesting, and not by all means did George suggest to fire Sean Payton. No. That maybe it's time for him to move into the front office. Because there's still a lot of conjecture about what's going to happen to this team when Gayle Benson passes on. A lot of the people that I'm hearing from, they're expecting that for Gayle Benson to leave this. Remember, it's not going to leave it to Renee, Rita, and Ryan. That ain't going to happen. Why? They've already made a deal. They've already split the assets before Tom passed away. They've already split the assets. And they got what they got. She got what she got. She has no heirs. A lot of people are suggesting that this team's going to be left to be run by, and probably owned and run by, Dennis Losha, Mickey Loomis, and Sean Payton. So the suggestion was to have Sean Payton move into the front office now and become player personnel. Have Loomis move up into the front office more, a higher role, and let Jeff Ireland become the general manager before he gets hired away to go somewhere else. What do you do with player personnel? Player personnel matters. Player personnel matters. That Jeff Ireland's doing. Well, remember Terry Fontenot's probably going to take the Atlanta job to be the GM there. So you're going to have an opening pretty much in there. I think you reshuffle some of the duties, but you bring Sean Payton in there and let him run the personnel department. And let him run the whole personnel department. Okay? I think that would be a great idea. And, well, what do you do with head coach? Well, you know, a name that George Pepper's brought up, and I would do it in a heartbeat. He said, why not a New Orleans native come in to be the new head coach? Of course, you're talking to Eric Bieniemy. We know that. That is a given. And I think this man deserves a shot. He deserves a legitimate shot at being a head coach. Nobody else is giving it to him. So why not say, hey, Eric, you want to come home? Just a thought. It's a thought. Maybe it is time for a new voice. I'm going to mull it over. I'm going to think about it, maybe talk about it in the future. But I think it's a legitimate idea. Because coaching has to take a part in what's happening. Okay, I'll give you this. You know, not the Minneapolis Miracle. Okay, that was Williams. That whiffed. But that game shouldn't have been that close at the end anyway. When they played Minnesota here, that game shouldn't have been that close at the end. When they played the Rams, shouldn't have come down to no call. That shouldn't have happened. And yesterday, that was a lot of coaching involved in that. What happened last night. So, hey, just something to think about. You know, the season has ended. This is the time you make changes. But one other thing I want to talk about before I go. I really, truly believe that, and I believe this wholeheartedly, that they will not go into this next season with Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill as your only options at quarterback. That ain't happening. Somebody else is coming. It'd be a free agent, a trade for a veteran, or they draft a rookie. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning more towards free agency or a trade, but I'm not right. As far as Sean Payton bringing in a rookie, I don't know. Now, if they make these movements, maybe. Who knows? All right, well, that's enough for this Monday morning quarterback wrap-up. So, yeah, it is what it is. You got your 4 teams that are in. You got the Buffalo Bills taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. And will Patrick Mahomes be available? I hope so. He did suffer a concussion, and hopefully he'll be ready to go next week. That way, they'll be at full strength. Buffalo will be at full strength. We go. And, of course, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers making a trip to Lambeau Field. And, obviously, everybody's going to realize something. And they should realize this. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers are going to have revenge on their mind. Because when they played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa earlier this year when they lost to them, that was the worst game of the season for the Packers. Yeah. Believe that. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here, and I'll do my end of the week, Thursday or Friday, right here on YouTube. So, take care.